This is the body weight hinge to squat progression. Initially, when you're working with a student and you're getting them transitioning from the deadlift to the squat, this is an excellent way to do so. Simply because you're not taking the student directly from top position here into a squat, because you have to deal with a lot of different issues such as mobility, which direction the hips are going. And this, not only does it help pattern the deadlift, but it's a very simple transition for many students to be able to do. So what you want to do initially is just get into a deadlift position with your feet, whatever's comfortable for you. For me, it's about shoulder width, toes pointed out so I can create space in my hips. Take my hands, guide them back as if I'm at the bottom of a swing. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm simply going to just drop my hips and slide my elbows right to the inside of the knees. And then from here, come up nice and slow. So arms extended, guide them back, lower the hips, guide the elbows inside the knees, and then come up from the bottom position. So initially you're going to teach it this way just to get comfortable with that transition from the deadlift to the squat. Now the question is, what if that's not my squat stance? So what if you have someone, which is very common, this is my deadlift stance, about shoulder width, but my squat stance is narrow. So what you do is you simply use that new stance, whatever that squat stance is, and you progress the same exact way. So a narrower stance here, I'm simply gonna take my arms, same position, find the hinge, and now when I transition into that squat, this feels like a much more comfortable position to come up out of. So the really neat thing about this progression is that you can start in the hinge position with the feet a little wider, and then you start working with your student on finding that optimal squat stance, taking it from the hinge to the squat. So you're really streamlining the process here. You're not complicating things at all. You're simply patterning the deadlift and then having them drop the hips. So as you're doing this, I would recommend having the student move their feet in and out depending on what feels most comfortable. And after about 2 to 3 sets, you're gonna figure out really quickly what is their most comfortable squat stance. And the cool thing about it is you're still developing that hip hinge. So body weight first, progress through this, spend at least 2 to 3 sessions on this progression. You'll find that this moves pretty quickly. I would say within 1 session or 2 sessions, you can get most students to the point where they feel comfortable getting here and then simply dropping their hips. Now the elbows come into play. As I'm dropping the hips, the elbows slide right into position here as if you're doing the goblet squat that Dan John created. So from here, you're just gonna stand from that bottom position. So those elbows are kind of guiding along the adductors, and you're gonna hit right into that elbow to knee position. And you can remind your student that their elbows are there because you wanna keep those knees out in line with those, with the toes or with the feet. So this is a great progression. Try it, unload it first, see how it feels. Spend some reps, spend some time doing it, figure out your stance, move in and out. That's such a great recommendation. A lot of people think that they have to squat a certain way or their hips need to move a certain way in a squat. That's not true. It really is dependent upon the person and their body type. And there could be a lot of other issues going on with the ankle. And the cool thing about this progression is that you sort of eliminate the ankle because you're taking it from the hinge position. So initially as coaches, what we do is we teach the squat from either the bottom up or loaded or from the top down. And there's a lot of things that come into play when you do that. You have to worry about where's the right hip angle for that person. you have knee issues, you have feet, you have ankles. There's a lot of things that can go on. You have T-spinal mobility up above. We eliminate pretty much all of that because we're going after the hinge first. And then we're going from the hinge, simply taking the hinge from this position and then teaching the student how to drop their hips into the good squat position in order to get up out of that hole. So try this out, body weight first, and then you can work on loading this progression up.